change in the schedule. They actually have the championship going first before the consolation. So I got to change my scoreboard, having a little trouble there. It's not accepting the change. And now we got it correct. Los Barachos is the visitor, leading off Sean Quinn. So this is the championship game. And there's a high fly ball. Center fielder puts it away, Brett Winger. So that's how this championship game is going to start. And need to just fix one more thing here.
Got this right
And that'll bring up Don Jacoby hitting in the 2-hole. And there's a swing, and he fouls that off of the back screen. So as per usual with all the issues, anybody tuning in, if you're on Facebook, drop me a comment so I can make sure that it is working properly. So Dom Jacoby, these two teams, and there's a little short fly ball to left, handled by the left fielder. 2 up, 2 down here. So just underway here in the top of the first. And Goodwood is the defending champs. They won the event that Francisco ran out here last year. And both of these teams, they have been the 2 best teams tonight. Los Barachos had a weird part of the bracket because they had 5 teams. Again, jockeying here, claustrophobic on the sideline. And Rocco goes high to center, and Winger, and that hit the roof. So Rocco's going to end up on second. And Los Barachos has been getting the better of the roof shots tonight. So they came out, we showed you their first game, they beat 40 Deuce. And then they had to play Oboes, and they beat up on Oboes a little bit.
You're good, Dom. You see it right there. You're all right, you're all right.
Goodwood, I think, has only played 1 game today. And we showed you that against Menace. And here's Tommy Angston, and the left fielder went into a slide a little early. Ball ended up bouncing off of his legs. First run of the ball game scores. So after 2 outs, Los Barachos hitting the ball hard. 1 roof shot and a sinking line drive, and they've taken the early lead in this championship game. And that's going to bring up the center fielder, Church. And this is a good-looking young player right here. And Church goes hard, and Jeremy Fowler with a diving stab of a 1-hop rocket takes it himself. But in the inning, they do scratch. They pick up the first run of the ball game, and we'll head to the bottom of the first, 1-0, Los Barachos. So because of the quirk of the schedule and only 5 teams, Goodwood only has had to play 1 game tonight. And there's a throw to first. I think the consolation game is going to be Oboes and 40 Deuce. So leading off Mike Trump, and he goes to the alley, and that gets over to center fielder, and it bounced over the net by the exit. So it'll be a ground rule triple. So Mike Trump leading off here just airmailed one deep into the gap. And got it over the outfielder. So that's how the game begins. Sorry, just fooling around with some equipment here, folks. Sorry about that. And that's going to bring up Colin Farley. And Colin hits a foul ball, so they're in a good position here to tie the ball game up. And we've seen Goodwood. They generally get out of the gate pretty fast in this dome. And Farley drives it, and Dom Jacoby, I'm sorry, I think I said ground rule triple. That was a ground rule double. So that's an example there where, worst case, you always want to at least move that base runner at second over to third. And here's Brett Winger, Steve Burke on deck. And Brett's been swinging it pretty good in the first game, and he drives it toward the alley. And Jacoby got there and dropped it, and Mike Trump will just go to third. He was kind of waiting there to tag. Jacoby had a beat on it. I think he was trying to snatch and throw, and he dropped the ball. Winger goes to second. Now with one out, Steve Burke could tie the ball game up here potentially and maybe even give Goodwood a lead. And again, we saw Los Barachos with 2 outs and nobody on score running the top of the first. And that ball on the plate. And you always wonder after you have a little bit of a delay what's going to happen. And Steve Burke a little flared on the right field line, but it drifts foul. If it was fair, would have scored 2, but he just couldn't keep it fair, and the ball drifted out of play. Again, we are live from the GoPro Dome for the SSA Frank Arenas mini tournament. Francisco threw this together a little bit last minute, and this is the championship game. So Steve takes that ball, full count. Of course, the runners do not need to go here. And Steve throws a single into center. Winger's going to score, and they throw home. And now Burke tries to go to second, and they call him out. You can rewind the tape. I'll be honest with you, I don't think he tagged him. It was a good job by the short center faking the swipe tag. But if he did tag him, it was on the shoulder, and the throw was drifting toward first. So I'm not quite sure, but 2 runs did score, and it brings up Mike Subzinski with nobody on there. Now, if you go back, you can obviously review the call, but I think what you might not catch unless you're really looking for it on the video, and Subzinski, ground ball, KC can't handle it, and there's a base hit, so that call at second now, looming a little bigger, which you might not have seen unless you're really looking for it. I'm not sure if I picked it up, but when Steve Burke took the turn at first, he kind of hesitated. He didn't go right away when the throw came home. And as a result of that, he cost himself a step or 2. And there's a base hit. Subzinski going to take the big turn, but he'll stay at third. Center fielder, Church, got it in a hurry. Brings up Eddie Jones.
Check in, eh? Let's go.
And that pitch, I believe he took that for a ball. And that's going to be way high and deep. So we'll be back out in Rosemont next week. And Eddie Jones slaps it toward right, and Sean Quinn makes the catch. Going down on a knee, made sure that ball didn't hit the carpet as he rolled. Nice play by Sean Quinn, but they do get a pair of runs. So 2-1 as we head to the second. Nice play there by Sean Quinn to put a Band-Aid on it. So as we head to the top of the second, 2-1 ball game here. Championship game. Again, if anybody is on any of our streams, please drop a comment. I want to make sure that I can read them. Third game of the night that we're showing you. And it brings up Jake Zeman leading off. Jake's been pitching pretty well tonight. Hasn't walked anybody. He's chipping in with some hits as well. And Zeman slaps it on the ground. Long throw and he's off the bag, safe. So Jeremy, great stretch there, but clearly off the bag. Infield single. Short center, a tremendous effort on that play. Cody, strong throw, but it just pulled him off the bag. So that'll bring up Smooth. And there he tries to walk the dog, but the right fielder on the spot. I like what he did there. He was on the ground. He just flipped it to the second baseman. Church courtesy running, couldn't go anywhere. And it brings up Nano. Again, we'll get to some rules for those of you who may be kind of tuning in last minute. That pitch a little short. Hector's pitched very well tonight as well. And there's a slash. Subzinski can't get it to Cody. The ball goes into no man's land, and everybody's going to move up 60 feet. So that was a tough angle for a second baseman to throw to second. He was trying to thread the needle with the runner going there. Cody took a path to catch and turn a double play, and as a result, the throw was off target a little bit, and he couldn't recover. It brings up KC. So Los Barachos trailing by a run. And KC off of Eddie Jones. Couldn't make the catch. They're all tied up. KC's been having a good night, too. And we're all tied at 2. We got a little symmetry working. 2-2 in the 2. And it brings up J-Rod. Runners on the corner here. And J-Rod, towering pop-up, right fielder makes the catch, throws home not in time, and they take the lead 3-2. So J-Rod looked like he was trying to juice the right center. Brings up LeBron. And LeBron, a little topper, gets through Hector, but right on the spot is the short center, Cody, and he makes the play. So as we head to the top of the third, 3-2, Barachos, another lead change. Or bottom of the second, excuse me. Another lead change in this ball game, and you can kind of feel this game a little bit more intense than the first two that we showed you. For those of you checking us out, this is Chicago-style 16-inch softball. You're seeing it correctly. No gloves, 60-foot bases, leadoff can't steal. 38 feet from the rubber to the point of home plate, 6-12 on the arc. We are playing 1-1. We're playing barehanded, so the pitcher gets a drag step. One step left, right, or back. Two fakes or hesitation. Third arm action has to deliver the ball home. A throw or a fake toward the base is one of your fakes or hesitations. All turf field. Deep and left. And there's a little spinner, and that's going to be trouble, but it will kick foul. So you can see left field is deep, center field. Short porch is in right, claustrophobic, not a lot of foul territory, as you can see. If you hit the ball in fair territory, it can be off the rough. It can be caught for an out. If it hits the carpet, it's all you can get.
They were just starting this game.
So Jeremy Fowler with a little new life here, leading off the bottom of the second.
So who play after this? For what?
And there's a swing and a chopper back to Zeman, and he'll make the play. So leadoff man down, and Los Barachos got to work on throwing it around a little bit. So it's going to bring up Angel with Joel on deck. Again, if you're tuning in, drop a comment in there. I want to make sure I can read them. This new setup we got. So here's Angel, and he hits a ball to center, and right on the spot is Church. Church covers a lot of ground out there. So 2 up, 2 down here brings up Joel with Hector Melendez on deck. And I did talk to Stevo Rodriguez. And there's a swing and a 2-out base hit for Joel. So they will get Hector up here.
Hey, Heck, get on, kid, get on!
So I talked to Stevo Rodriguez about the Los Barachos softball league out at Intentional Sports, and he's anticipating that that's going to start around Friday, December 6th. And he's putting the final touches on it. Hector takes that pitch a little deep. So I know I've been telling you we'll be live streaming from there as well. And Hector swings, but Church is there. So 2-out base hit, can't do nothing with it. And now we head to the top of the third, still 3-2. So as we head to the third, both teams will have the top of their lineups coming up. 3-2, top of the third.
Hey, guys. Hey, take 3-2.
So that'll be fun. Steve also told me he might run in like an overnight tournament there. Brian, I will be at the Turkey Bowl, absolutely. It's been kind of a tradition. We like to support them, and for anybody going there, they also have a canned good food drive. So if you're going to go out there to watch, bring a few cans. And that ball is off the sidewall foul. Every year, Manny Sanchez, who's umping tonight, tells me it's going to be warm. And every year I go out there and it's about 38 degrees. So maybe this year we'll break the streak. And here's Sean Quinn, and he keeps hitting tonight as he hits another base hit. Leadoff man on, and it brings up Dominic Jacoby. Dom's been swinging it pretty good today. I'm sure after he dropped that fly ball, he'd like to get back in the plus column. And there's a little fist job, and they call a double play. Very sneaky there by the short center. Cody, he didn't even attempt to catch the ball. He just let it drop. There's no infield fly rule with one runner on, but the rule on drops is if you could catch it with an ordinary effort, so that'll be a double play, and here's Rocco. And, you know, that's a play that realistically he could have easily caught that ball. And to me, there's not much difference between catching that ball and dropping it intentionally, because you put the runner at jeopardy because he can't run to the base, because if he catches it, it'll be an out. And if he stays at first, that's what happened. He dropped it, stepped on it, and then threw to first. So I'll have to talk to our umpires-in-chief and get a ruling on that. So Jacoby is on for Tommy Angston, 2 outs now. Of course, Tom runs real well, so any type of a stretch single here is going to score him easily. And that's a high fly ball. Subzinski puts it away. So the double play costs them. And we head to the bottom of the third, still 3-2. So now it's Goodwood's top. And we'll see what they do. Mike Trump, Colin Farley, and Brett Winger. And I think Los Barachos wasn't too happy with that play. Because if you think about it, if you drop a routine fly ball on purpose, they call the hitter out. So what's the difference if you're right there and then you just let it fall right in front of you like that? Well, this is the championship game. It was basically a 2-game guarantee, Chris. Here's Mike Trump. And with only 5 teams, there weren't a lot of games. So they have what I guess technically would be the 3rd place game after this. And there's a little ground ball. Pitch and catch. Short center took his time, made a good throw there. Leadoff man down. Here's Colin Farley. So there is 1 game left. I'm going to see how my back feels. It's starting to lock up a little bit in this. It's comfortable in here, but I've been basically on my feet since I got here at 7:30. And it's starting to wear down a little bit. And there's a little weird spinner. Short center makes the play. Nice job there by the short center coming in with the ball, had a little tricky spin on it. Brings up Brett Winger, and Brett's been hammering the ball. If you're Los Barachos, this is how you'd like to see him. Like to see him coming up with 2 outs and nobody on. And they are playing him pretty deep, just about across the board in the outfield. And there he beats it onto the ground to LeBron, and LeBron makes the play. So neither top can scratch. We'll go to the 4th, 3-2. So this game is flying. Well, they ran into Los Barachos, Chris, and they got beat up. I think the final was 16-5, and they lost that game. And 40 deuce. I don't know. I guess you'd call it a slight upset. They beat Menace. Menace just had some trouble scoring runs. 40 deuce walked them off in the bottom of the 7th after Menace tied the game in the top. So it's Church, Jake, and Smooth. And he rifles one, and Jeremy Fowler, little semi-jump, just volleyballed it to himself. Obo's issue in that game, Chris, was they just didn't catch the ball. They had a lot of errors, and it's tough to win when you only score 5 and you're not catching the ball. Of course, the great 48 was out here. For those of you who don't know who I'm talking about, that's my broadcast partner, Jerry Brown. Little chopper over at Eddie Jones, high throw. And I tell you, this Jeremy Fowler's like a rubber band. Of course, Jeremy was a wrestler in college. So you can tell he's a flexible guy. My whole body shivered when he stretched like that. So that's going to bring up Smooth. And of course, we got the Turkey Bowl coming up in 13 days at Harrison Park. And there's a hot one hopper, Eddie Jones. Slick play. Eddie Jones robs a hit. Then he did the spin and the throw, and they go 1, 2, 3. We go to the bottom of the 4th, still 3-2. So we're seeing some good defense. Both teams pretty solid. And interesting thing, earlier in the day, KC, who's playing second, he's a lefty, is playing short center. So they made the move and they got Smooth in the lineup. I'll keep that in mind, Amalia. So for Goodwood, leading off, Steve Burke. Then it'll be Mikey Subzinski and Cody. And there's a ball, and he gets it between the short center and the second baseman. Lead-off hit for Goodwood. Brings up Mikey Subzinski. So he's looking for a courtesy runner, and Brett Winger, last batted out, will come in and run. So Mikey Subzinski. And Mikey, little ground ball, and he didn't tag him. And the umpire called him out. And from our angle, we had a great look at it. He missed him by about 1.5 feet there. And Goodwood, I think, obviously not happy. There was a call earlier, so it'll go as a double play. That's a tough break there for Goodwood. I should have that on tape. I think there was a lot of air between the ball and the body. And there's a ground ball, base hit. So Goodwood they're getting base runners, but they've had a couple of kind of crazy calls here. 2 outs for Eddie Jones. Cody grounds a single into right.
No radio, no nothing.
I think on that call, even J-Rod over here, the big first baseman, was giving me the look like. And Eddie Jones back to Zeman, and that'll do it. So we head to the top of the 5th. Anybody's ball game still. But it's settled down here the last inning. Inning and a half, nobody's been able to do much. Yes. 3-2. So it's going to be Nano, KC, and J-Rod coming up here for Los Barachos. Well, you're not allowed to chop. And they call the runner out at first. Nano hustling made it close. You're not allowed to chop, but a chop is really defined as a 12-6 swing. In other words, straight down. If you hit down on the ball, but the ball basically, gets 30, 40 feet out in front of the plate, that's not really ever going to be called a chop. So KC takes a strike there. And usually if you swing through the ball at all and break your wrist, they're not going to call it generally. Well, we see a lot of Justin in 16-inch. And KC goes the other way. Eddie Jones makes the play. And Eddie Jones is a pretty good defensive shortstop. What we see a lot of guys try to do, instead of chopping the ball, they want to swing and just nick the top of the ball and hit a very slow 2 or 3 hopper toward an infielder and then run. And, back in the day, Brian Kearns, who plays for Flashback, was fantastic at it. I remember doing a game once where Brian was playing. Here's J-Rod. And there's a walk. It looked like he was going to call that a strike for a second. Brings up LeBron. Yeah, he's good. He reminds me a lot of the kid on the Dirty 38s. So here's LeBron. A little fly ball. Subzinski calling it all the way, makes the catch. So we'll head to the bottom of the 5th. Still 3-2. If you're a Los Barachos fan, they will have the top of their lineup up in the 6th. So getting back to Brian Kearns, he had done it a couple of times in the game. And, the rule is the catcher has to start in foul territory. And he took a pitch, and the catcher was sprinting out in front of the plate, anticipating that little swing. Yeah, there are a lot of really slick shortstops. Of course, Chris is a jack of all trades. You can put him anywhere on the infield and he's going to catch the ball. But we've got an overabundance of good defensive shortstops playing 16-inch softball, which makes sense because that's the place on the infield where during the course of a season, that's where a majority of your ground balls are going to end up going to or in that vicinity. Here's Jeremy Fowler, pulls his hands in, was just trying to dump it into center, but hit it a little too hard. Carried out to Church. So it brings up Angel. I'd like to see a few more kids maybe take the challenge and become short centers. So here's Angel. Takes that pitch a little deep. Yeah, that's what they try to avoid. You know, on dirt, the ball won't necessarily bounce that high. And there's a ground ball to third, throw to first in time. So this game is devolving into a defensive struggle. Now, I would imagine on turf, if you did that, you might get a pretty good bounce. And I don't know who put this last comment up, but unfortunately I can't scroll up or down to see the beginning of it. And there's a little fly ball. Jacoby started in, and now it carried over his head. So Jacoby thought it was going to be a lazy fly ball, and it carried, and he got himself into a little trouble. And that'll happen on occasion when you're trying to pick the ball up off of this white roof. So we got a pinch hitter, Kaz, Brandon, hitting for the pitcher, Hector. So Joel Cordova with a 2-out double. And Kaz with the chance to tie this ball game up here in the bottom of the fifth. And he grabs a strike there. The other thing that'll happen if you're an outfielder is...
Nobody there.
And here's Kaz, takes that deep. If a guy swings underneath the ball, and lets go of that top hand, and he gets that underspin, the ball will stay up in the air a lot longer. And Kaz, a little ground ball, can't make the play. And now we got runners on the corner, and we're back to the top. And Mike Trump. So Mike Trump here with 2 outs, runners on the corner. Base hit would certainly tie the game. Kaz can run here at first.
One more.
And that pitch is a strike. So Jake Zeman has been excellent at getting ahead of hitters, and with the 1-1 count, a lot of hitters don't like to swing with 2. And Mike swung at a pitch that would have been high and deep. And a 2-out rally, they can't tie the game. We head to the top of the 6th inning, still 3-2. That was a tough at-bat for Mike. He got a high, kind of deep strike called on him, and then he swung at a high, deep pitch. And with 2 strikes sometimes, if you lose faith in an umpire, you'll swing at some pitches you normally would not. So 3-2 game here, top of the 6th. Barachos with the top of their lineup coming up. this is a point in the ball game. You don't know for sure your top is going to get another crack at it. And there's a high fly ball. It's foul. Can't get to it, though, as it was hugging the screen. Yeah, Justin, our association is headquartered here, but we have under our umbrella, we have a sister organization, the Iowa Slow Pitch Softball Association. There's a fly ball, so out number one. And we're starting to see a lot of teams play in Arizona, Southern California. Iowa's always been a strong 16-inch state. And we run our Las Vegas Big Ball Getaway Tournament, a one-day tournament. Will be the 10th year anniversary next year. And that's a lot of fun. We had a team from Oregon come in, high fly ball, and that's going to be caught for out number two. So neither team swinging very well here. They both scored a ton of runs in their earlier games. They are facing a little stiffer competition here in the championship. Justin, the pitcher can pick a guy off, and you're not allowed to steal. So, and we see some pretty creative pickoff attempts. So here's Rocco. And that's up, and it hits the roof, and Subzinski, he tracked it all the way, but couldn't hold on. If you want to see the rules, Justin, if you go to SSAsoftball.com, we have a forms section there, and our rule book is online. It's free. You can download it. It's a PDF file. You're right about that, Amalia. Hector is a character. So here's Tommy Angston, ground ball up the middle, and that's a nice play. It's a fielder's choice. No tag needed. Center, short center on the ground, just extended his foot back and basically half dove to secure the ball. So Barachos can't score. And we're going to head to the bottom of the sixth in a one-run game. So right now, if you're Goodwood, you should still feel pretty good about where you're at. You're only down a run. You got more outs than the other guy. And you got 2, 3, 4 coming up this inning. Colin Farley, Brett Winger, and Steve Burke. So good opportunity here. We talk all the time about the psychological aspect of when a team is winning most of the game. And we haven't seen a run since, I believe, the second inning in this game. And Farley, a little roller, but foul. You know, when all of a sudden you flip the script, and maybe you go from being down 1 up 2 or 3, does the other team mentally have time to recover? It's not a problem generally with the major teams, but with younger teams that are still kind of getting the experience level up. And there's a chopper, LeBron, in time. Nice play by J-Rob. He caught it and kind of rotated a little bit out of the way. And again, there's no safety base here. Normally, when we're outdoors, we have an orange base next to the white base. So nice job by J-Rod to stay in the field of play. Good job by Colin Farley to be running in foul territory in that runner's box. So here's Brett Winger. And Brett goes, didn't quite get it. Church comes in and makes the catch, and last minute kind of shifted. It looked like he was struggling. And this is a tough outfield because you got a white roof and then you got these white lights that you can see there that go across the outfield roof. So 2 up, 2 down, and here's Steve Burke. Same thing. Rosemont doesn't have the lights in the center of the roof like they got here. Theirs are along the sidewall, and they project the light up, and they reflect it off the roof. But we talk to outfielders all the time, and they do tell you the first couple of times they play in the dome, they have trouble sometimes picking the ball up off the bat. Here's a little different. They got that green backdrop and a black fence, so that helps you a little bit as an outfielder. And there's a soft fly ball, long run, and Sean Quinn a little basket catch. And we're going to head to the top of the 7th, 3-2. Again, no runs since the second inning. Los Barachos has gotten a couple of breaks, and they're clinging to a 1-run lead. So it's going to be Church, Jake, and Smooth. Might behoove the Barachos to push something across. It'll be 5, 6, 7 coming up for Goodwood in the bottom half of this inning.
Yuri, you brought your back to nothing.
That's correct. There's no restrictions on leadoffs. There's a ground ball, and Hector will make that play. So Church goes down and brings up Jake Zeman. Now, normally what happens, my pet peeve is when the guy in the box takes a step and loads his hands and then doesn't swing. And you'll see runners think they're going to swing and they'll get off the bag. And then when they throw the ball to first, if you're halfway to second, it's just pretty much an out. They're not going to make you actually tag the guy because the runner's got to come back to first. So Jake Zeman here trying to get on base. If he does, they'll courtesy run with Church, who can fly. And there's a soft fly ball, and Winger is there. 2 outs. Both pitchers are dealing here a little bit. And Hector cracks me up because I got long pants on and a sweatshirt. And I'm on the cool side. Of course, I'm not moving around, but he's in cut-off sleeves and sweating like it's 110 in here.
Make sure they grab their garbage, all right? Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Well, South Carolina is interesting. There's a little overhand chop, and Winger can't make the catch. Normally sure-handed. It was about knee-high. He was sprinting in, can't hold on. So a 2-out base runner, Stu Cardenas, pinch hitting there, gets on base, and brings up Nano. So 2-out base runner. Baracho's looking for a little insurance. And that ball's going to be foul off the side screen. Again, we told you there's no foul territory here. The good news is between the fence, the netting, and then where they got the harder plastic coming down, everything stays within the park basically. So we'll reset here. And there's a hard ground ball, and Hector and we go to a do-or-die bottom of the 7th. So Nano grounds out to end the inning. Goodwood needs 1 to extend the game. 2, they win. Anything less, and Los Barachos will win. Of course, Goodwood, the defending champs in this. And right now they're searching for a little offense. They haven't scored since the bottom of the first when they scored 2 to take a 2-1 lead. So Mikey Sobzinski, his job is to get on base. Mikey runs well.
I think I sent them 2 minutes.
Yeah, tournament.
Yeah, just let me know.
Sure, Justin. We use a 16-inch clincher. That's the brand name. It's pretty firm out of the box. And especially on turf, it maintains that consistency. Bullet! Jake Zeman, with the cat-like reflexes, popped it in the air and made the catch. Baracho's 2 outs away. So Sobzinski hit it hard. Zeman just got his hands up and made the play. And here's Cody. Takes that ball deep. So it's a 16-inch clincher. It is firm out of the box. No, there's no bunting. And there's a little ground ball to second. KC, the lefty, and Baracho's 1 out away. Brings up Eddie Jones, the last hope, with Jeremy Fowler on deck. So the defending champs down to their last out here, looking for some kind of base runner here. And they're basically playing Eddie Jones deep. You hit line drives into the gap here, that ball will roll. And that's one of the considerations when you play on an all-turf field as an outfielder. You have to take that stuff into account. And you might not play where you normally do. Full count, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th, trailing by a run. And there's a ball, and it's going to be close, and Eddie Jones beats it out. Deflected by the pitcher. Great effort by Smooth, but he can't make the play. And Goodwood clinging to life here. And it brings up Jeremy Fowler. Jeremy runs very well also. Eddie Jones will be taken off on the swing. So this is the type of situation as a hitter. If you're going to fake a swing, you got to yell no. You got to let Eddie know. And there's a little soft fly ball. Smooth is there, and Barachos win the Francisco Arenas mini tournament. No runs were scored after the 2nd inning in this one, when Barachos took a 3-2 lead. They hold on, they make it stand up. We'll get some pictures, and we'll try to get them up, and we'll find out who the unofficial MVP is for Los Barachos. So, Justin, nice talking to you. If you need any information, email me at george@ssasoftball.com. So we're going to take some pictures, and we'll be wrapping up the coverage. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it.